I'm gonna have you start off introducing yourself.
Five, four, three, two, one. We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to the hottest sounds in the mix. In the mix.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Nina Monique Show. I am your host today. As usual, I'm here not every Saturday, but every other Saturday. But it's just for this month. I'm here just about every Saturday to celebrate the achievements and accomplishments for men of color. And today on the phone, I met Evan Spaulding, I want to say last year, right, Evan?
Yes, you did.
I met Evan Spaulding last year at a conference in Jersey City. We was on a panel together, and everything that you said, it was related to my life, with corporate America or, having a job and wanting to fulfill your passion, your dream. And I recall you saying that you came up when you couldn't take it, anymore, and you just went to go after your dreams, right?
Absolutely, yes.
What was that like? What was the last straw, and you was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going after my dreams. Because we, as people who have the jobs and we have families, that's why we stay. We hesitant about our dreams because we don't know if everything is going to happen the way we want. So we stay and we be unhappy, but our passion is still burning our soul. What was the trigger for you to just take the leap?
Well, honestly, it's just something that I really, really, really felt like I needed to do because it's like this. I've always been a good worker. I've always been a hard worker. But I've always felt like, I should be in charge of, because I'm not the type, I hate deadlines. I like being able to do things on my own time. I don't like nobody telling me when I need to go take a lunch break and all of that different stuff. And it happened in around maybe 2015, right before I did MTV's Girlsbusters, around that time. And the desire to be on screen became much stronger than, just making, money and get paid from paycheck to paycheck.
I agree.
And that's when it occurred.
Yes, because that paycheck to paycheck, it destroys my soul because I'm like, I know I could be making so much more, but I want to make more doing something that I enjoy doing and how I want to spend the rest of my, my days.
Absolutely.
So, and I agree with you 100%. Now, I know you have a family. Did your significant other have a problem with you doing that? Because I know you have to think about, your family first before anything. But did your significant other have an issue with that?
Well, actually, no, because I was actually lucky because you do hear horror stories about that. She's the one that encouraged me to do that. She's like, hey,
nice.
I need you to stop stressing. Because, it was really, really eating at me.
Yes.
The different things that was happening at work. She's like, hey, you can just go ahead and do your thing, and, I have your back. You have my support.
Right. That's very important because it's nothing like having that passion and you trying to hold on for all the right reasons, but then when you have a spouse that understand that and they're like, you know what, I need you to make that happen, because it could also, being frustrated, could fall over into your family life also.
For real. Yeah.
So I get it. And man, when you mentioned that when we were sitting on the panel, I was like, man, I want to do that so bad.
And you're in corporate America, so it's fun. It seems like, to me, I guess the more money you're making, the harder it is to walk away because you have the security and stuff like that of just knowing you don't have to struggle in entrepreneurship. It's a constant struggle.
Yes.
You don't always know exactly when you're going to get a paycheck. You got to hold on. It teaches you to manage your money a whole lot better. It's a journey. It's rough. It's it's not easy. It's not as glamorous as people try to make it out to be.
You are not lying, Evan. It's like, you know, I'm thankful and grateful for having a paycheck to maintain, you know, the things that I need to survive. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how much longer I could do this. And I try not to, you know, get upset about it, but it kills my soul because, like you said, you know your worth much more than to work for other people, and you want to be in control of what it is you want to do.
Right.
So I applaud you for taking that step. I really, really do. I really, really do. So
for real.
no problem. Because that led you, and when you do something like that, you have no choice but to make it now because there's a lot riding on you. You know,
you have nothing to fall back on. So it's like, it's either I do this or I'm going to fail.
Right. And you said, I'm not failing. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do what I have to do. And the next thing you know, now, is this before when you had the radio show or was it after?
This was after because at that point I had got kicked off the radio. So it was a lot going
What?
on.
No. Oh, man. Oh, okay. So take me back a little bit to growing up in Newark.
Oh, okay.
What?
You know, Newark has a bad rap, but, you know, I remember some bad things happening, but I have great memories of Newark. I still live in Newark. I live in the downtown district. But, I mean, it was, to me, it wasn't rough. I didn't even know Newark was rough until I stepped outside of Newark and begin, you know, going on other places and people asking me, the same exact question. How was it? Oh, are you okay? Is Newark all right? Blah, blah, blah. I had no clue that Newark had a high crime rate. There was a lot of drugs. I just thought, you know, I was just living my life and it was the norm for me. I have friends that have been killed. I have friends that were gang affiliated or in gangs and different stuff like that, but I never really took part, and it's mostly because of my parents.
Right.
My parents kept me in line, they kept me in church and different things of that nature, but I mean, that doesn't mean anything with some children, but I just, you know, decided not to stray and go that way. I just never wanted to go to jail.
Right. Yes. That was how it was for me, you know, growing up in Patterson, which is not far from Newark at all.
Right. and Patterson gets a bad rap.
Yes. And it's like, you know, that was what you said, especially about, you know, having your parents to guide you. That was, you know, what kept me out of trouble a lot.
Right.
Having my mother and my grandmother and my uncle to keep me you know, on the right path, because it's hard.
Grounded.
Yes. It's really, really hard. And I've seen a lot of some of my classmates not make it to success like I feel they should have.
Right. I feel what you're saying.
Yep. So yeah.
And success doesn't really mean a whole lot of money.
Right.
Success is different for everybody, and we got to get that out of our heads. Everybody thinks success is being a millionaire. Success is accomplishing a particular goal, and I know exactly what, because I've seen people that I went to school with that had potential, and it looked like they were going somewhere, and they just haven't met it yet. It's still not too late for them. It's just right now they haven't met that, and it's just like they went in a totally different direction. You're like, whoa.
Yes.
So I get what you're saying.
Yes. And, you know, part of the reason also why I, you know, strive to be where I am now and to go further is because of that reason. You know, I always wanted to be, you know, an inspiration to other people. You know, we hear about so many of, you know, minority kids growing up in the inner city and, you know, falling into the wrong things. And it's like, we have the examples, but they're not pushed out there, in my opinion, the way they should be.
Okay.
So, you know, I wanted to do something where I could be different and encourage other kids to, you know, if you have dreams and goals, you continue to strive for them. And even if you get caught up in things, like you said, it's not the end. You know, you have the opportunity to change that.
Right.
So, on that note, my fellow New Jerseyan,
Yes.
I applaud you for, standing your ground and having, dreams for yourself and pushing through to get, to those goals of yours.
Thank you so much. I mean, yeah, and you're an inspiration as well, because it's not too many people that work in your field where we come from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's not glorified. Everybody in the hood, mostly everybody wants to kind of be a rapper or a basketball player. And I am an entertainer myself, so it's just like that. That's glorified a lot more. In North, the arts are heavily encouraged. Right now, even at Lincoln Park, we have a music festival like that. So to see you do what you do and step outside the norm and take a different path is amazing. And I like I said, I commend you.
Oh, thank you. We have to link up too, and
Definitely, you got to come down to the loft. Like,
yeah. Listen, your news rant.
Oh yeah, you got to come through. You know what? So we had took a break from that because I was trying to go ahead and rearrange some things. I got a couple of new co-hosts and stuff like that, and we just started booking guests. We definitely gonna get you on there for sure.
Oh, thank
for
you.
For sure.
I would love to, and we have to do some collaboration together also.
Yes,
Newark and Patterson.
I'm all about that. That's New Jersey, period. We need to, because everybody always says New Jersey doesn't support New Jersey, but all the people that I hang around and the people that I've been in contact with in Jersey, it's a shift, and things are starting to happen, and people are starting to see how great New Jersey is.
Yes. I think it's a wonderful place. I really do. Like,
yes.
I commute in and out of the city every day for work, and just being able, I used to take it for granted to come home, because I always wanted to be outside of Patterson for a few minutes or for a while. Yeah. And then as I got older, now that I'm tired of commuting, now when I get home and my bus hit like the park that's right across the street from my house, I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Right, exactly. And that's what you said. It's getting older, because I remember as a kid, you wanted to go to New York all the time. Every chance you got, you would try to go to New York. Now it's more like, oh man, I want to be close to home. I just did an event. I just did an event on, Thursday at White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, and that's like 15 minutes from my house, and it's got like a New York vibe over there. But I got home in 15 minutes, and I'm like, woo, I like that. That's convenient.
It's that's what it is. It's the convenience. I appreciate it even more now.
Yes.
Oh my God, when I just have to go somewhere, and like you said, it's 15 minutes away from home, and it's not far. I'm so appreciative of it. Really, really,
I
really.
hear that.
Really, really.
For real.
So, how did you land the hosting spot for Grossbusters?
Okay, so this is what happened. I was already doing little funny videos and doing background acting at the time. And there's this website called Backstage.com, not to be confused with it's another one. I don't want to confuse anybody, it's Backstage.com, not Backpage, but Backstage. I went on there, and there's a ton of different auditions that you can apply for and different things of that nature. It's like you pay a fee or whatever. I can't remember what it is, but they were looking for a host, and it didn't give much information. They hit this agency that's called a House That Casting Built.
Oh.
They contacted me and said that I would be a great fit. They wanted me to come up with some type of mock show. They gave me all the criteria. I met those criteria. I had my friends, a couple of friends helped me out. I had my parents let me use one of their properties at the time, and I sent it on over to them, and the rest is history.
Nice. And that's very important, because a lot of people don't want to go through the process of reaching their goal. They just want it to happen overnight, and it don't always work like that.
Let me tell you about, even that process is a funny story. So originally, the day I shot it, I wanted to go ahead that night and just go ahead and edit it and send it over. But I ended up having to airport to pay a ticket, and I parked in the wrong spot. The ticket got dismissed that I was supposed to be paying. I came out, my car was gone because they towed it, and you know how Newark is, they tow your car in a minute.
Yeah.
So, but all my camera equipment was inside, so I couldn't edit. So I had to. And these people that were in charge of the show were in London, so I had to make that call and see if they can give me just a day to edit and all of that stuff. So, but everything worked out. Because like you said, the patience and different things of that. And you got to put the work in. It don't happen immediately.
And that's one of the things I have a issue with too, because again, another reason why I commend you, for stepping away from your 9-to-5 to do what you enjoy. When you when you constantly, have to, you have to work and everything, and that takes away a lot of your energy to do what makes you happy and to perfect your craft.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be consistent.
Yes. Yes.
No matter what, and you have to get up when you don't feel like doing.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if you're familiar with my Evan on everything. I do that Monday through Friday. I have to come up with something every single day, and it does take away from your passion, because it's like, oh my gosh, I got to do this again. So it's like, it does take away from it, but
yes, it does.
But it'll pay off in the end. So just gotta keep on going, and find a reason why you're doing it. That makes things a lot easier. Like if you have a person that you can be like, hey, I'm doing this for my mother, or hey, I'm doing this so that I can be out of debt and I don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. It has to be like a strong reason. Otherwise, you'll stop in a minute.
Yep. My mentor is here, Sean, and he's giving you the amen in the background.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it.
Sean, you want to say something? Because I know that's, whenever I talk to him about, I'm like, oh, my God, I'm tired. I'm stressed. I don't have time to do what I need to do. And he's like, you got to, get out of that, that whole corporate mentality, and you have to follow what it is that you want to do.
Sean is a wise person.
Sean, you want to come on? You could come in. Yeah. So I completely, oh man, it's just, I think for me, it's just that fear of not having anything to manage my bills, because that's part of the way we was, we're conditioned, as I say. Yes. Yes. So, that's what I'm nervous about. And then, like you said, I want to take care of my mother. I don't want her to have to work.
Right.
So,
and that's your reason why. And you know what? Another thing that people struggle with is a lot of, like, what you're doing right now with the radio and stuff. You can tell that you're passionate about it. Like, even when I look on your page, you can tell that there's passionate.
Yeah.
A lot of people get involved in things that they don't really like, but they see other people doing, and that makes it hard. It's hard to be consistent doing something you don't like. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So if you find something that you really, really like, it's almost like, even I look at these, video gamers. They can do that consistently and get paid for it, and get, sponsors and different things of that nature, because they're passionate about it and they love what they're doing.
Yes.
Some doctors, they're really passionate about their financiers. They're, passionate about what they do because they like it and they enjoy it, and it just makes it a whole lot easier when you like it. I mean, sometimes you have to do some things you don't like to get where you want to go, but I mean, I think that plays a major part and a major role in, being successful or having your dream job.
Yes, because I think about it all the time, especially when I'm at my desk at work. I'm like, I want to be in California. I want to be running from one studio to the other, preparing for a show or interview. Right. Yeah. So it's like, I try to go by that saying, what you think about, you bring about.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
But it's hard, because then, you have to step back in reality.
Right.
I don't think it's on.
Yeah, I got to return.
Oh, yeah, it's hard, and I try to stay positive, and I'm like, everything is gonna happen when in due time, as they say.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree 100% with that. With everything you saying, man, I wish you was in the studio.
Yeah, that would be so good. I'm gonna make it up to you. I'm gonna come through there, me and Kyrie.
Okay.
Definitely.
I would appreciate that, because I would love to pick both of y'all brains about a whole lot of stuff, because I know that, one thing I read about you is that you like to give people hope to never give up on what they want to do.
That's right.
Absolutely.
This is Sean Evan.
Nice to meet you, Sean. Nice to meet you.
Salute, brother, man. Salute, man. I love everything you're talking about, brother.
Oh, I appreciate that. And if you're a mentor of hers, that means, woo, you got a lot of wisdom.
Yo, look, man. Look. I'm very humble, man. I'm not gonna say I'm a philosopher, but I'm in the business to help people. That's what when you look at the Creator and what God did when God walked this earth, He helped people. That's what He did. He helped people. He saved people. He just preached the gospel and He saved people. So
that's a fact.
When people say, like, God did this for us, God did that for us, God, if it wasn't for God, where would we be? I mean, I'm cool with that. If I don't do anything else in my life, brother, if I could just help somebody make it, and they make it to the top, and they become entrepreneurs, and they're well off, and all I say is, man, don't forget me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't forget me in the travels, and if I'm not here to reap the benefits, then reach out to my kinfolk. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to my daughter. Reach out to family members or something. Reach out to somebody that I've influenced. You know what I'm saying? On my travels. So that's all I ask, brother. I don't ask for monetary value. I don't ask for any special whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because if you expect something when you do something, at the end sometimes you don't get nothing.
Right. Yeah.
I've experienced that.
Yes, brother. When you go there with your hand out talking about, hey, I'm a photographer or I'm a videographer, and what's the payment like? What's your budget? First thing people do is, well, what kind of work you got? Like, what have you haven't done anything over? Who are you to ask for something?
Right.
So I'm very humble, man. When people call me, they say, oh, I want you to do some birthday pictures. How many hours I'm gonna be there?
Right.
I'm gonna be there 3 hours. Okay, I'm at $50 an hour. 75. But my thing is, as long as I get something for something that I give, then I'm cool with that. But under certain circumstances, like there's Katia Page's joint I do every year, and I do the video and I do the photography for nothing, because that is a bona fide event where a woman is suffering from something and she's trying to help people, so she throws this event just to put knowledge out, just for other people to come in and be able to talk and be on this platform. And see, when I see stuff like that, automatically, if you're a giving person and you're a godly person, you're going to give. You're not going to think about receiving.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's what's different from God folk and regular folk on this earth.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
I have to agree. I live by this quote by Zig Ziglar that says, you can get whatever you want in life if you just help enough people get what they want in life.
Yeah.
So, I've been blessed by living that way, and like you said, even with the charging different people, sometimes you just gotta be a help, and that help will return in some way, shape, or form to you. So
did you have to do that a lot, to get to where you are, to do a lot of things for free, or?
Oh, what? Yeah.
Did she just ask that question?
Yeah, because it's like
man, please.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
I could go down the road and tell you how many things I done did for free. Pictures and photo shoots. And I'm still doing a little something here and there. But, my thing is, what it say? Show thyself, be approved.
Yeah.
So when people approve of your work and of what you do, it's no longer free. They don't come to you and say, well, Nina, how much it costs to come on your show? They don't say, oh, can I come on your show, Nina? They go, how much does it cost?
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Right.
I
I mean, people look at you different, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you want. You want people to look at you different. You want them to respect you. I got a phone call from a guy that I've been knowing for at least 11, 12, 13 years doing plus size events and stuff. I did this video and everything for him. He called me up and said, yo, man, he said, I love the footage, man. He said, yo, man, from now on, for the rest of the year, if you want to come and videotape my party, whatever, I got you on the cover. Just let me know how many people you bring. Don't bring too many women,
Right.
But the thing is that he loved the footage and what I done so to the point where he was just saying, yo, man, you're going to come through for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is that allows me to have a platform of work
Right.
that I can continuously do to promote my craft.
Right.
Absolutely.
And Evan, that's what you do too. You have like your own with the news rant and your Ghostbusters and what was the weekly snack?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one too. You walk around too with a cameraman and your microphone, right?
Definitely. I do interviews. Yeah, it's just content building.
Yes.
I just build quite a bit of content, so my resume,
Yes.
it looks attractive.
Yes. How did you get in? Like, how did you branch off into that part of building your own brand where you could walk around and interview people the way you want? Because you went from Ghostbusters to doing internet shows, not your Ghostbusters, your weekly snap, your news rant. How did you branch off and get into that part?
I like that shirt though.
Thank you.
Well, it goes into basically you just get tired of, because in the industry there's a lot of waiting and a lot of auditioning and different things of that nature, and sometimes you wait for a callback. I'm the type of person that don't like to wait.
Yeah.
I'm a creative, so if I'm going to come up with something, I went to school, to learn, video and audio and all of that stuff. So I just, grabbed the camera myself.
Right.
Started going to the different events that I was invited to, interviewing people. And I mean, that's pretty much it. When I come up with an idea, I pretty much write it down and then I, create it and make it happen.
Yeah. That's how I am too. I think that's why whenever I have an idea about something, I just jump right into it. Because I'm like, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. And I know
it's not. Yeah.
And I know I don't want to be running around chasing people looking for opportunities.
Nope.
So I'll create them on my own.
Just build your own door and open it.
Yes, definitely. And also, to switch gears a little bit, I saw a video where you mentioned, I guess before you got in the industry, you was insecure and camera shy.
Yeah, I was actually. When I first started doing like videos and everything like that, I would actually wear my shades because I was that nervous about being on camera. I'm like, oh God, I can't do this. But I had a desire though from like a kid, and I was pretty shy, but I had a desire, and that desire was much stronger than anything else. So I just, the more I did it, the better and more comfortable I got at doing it.
Right.
I'm probably more comfortable on camera than I am just in real life.
Yeah. That's the funny thing too, because when I was younger, I did not like taking pictures. Don't videotape me, leave me alone.
Right.
And
Definitely, I would be considered maybe even now an introvert. But it's just something that snaps in my brain when I get in front of the camera or in front of a microphone.
Yeah, it feel like you in your zone.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd agree. Yep.
Because I know for me, like when I first started radio with Sean, because I started on his show, Thick World Radio,
Okay.
And I said nothing. He would be like, you got to talk. You got to say something. Say something. But I was nervous. And then it's like once, you know, I stepped out and I started the Nino Monique show, I was like, I have no choice but to talk now because it's nobody's responsibility now except for my own to, you know, produce and, you know, have content. So that was hard and it was scary. When my first day on the air, I was trembling and
oh my God, really?
I was petrified when I started the Nina Monique show because I was by myself. Like there was no co-host, there was no Sean to like start the show off. I had to do it, and it was like
the energy. It gets you when you first start off, but then after a while. And I had to do, like a lot of times, you know, sometimes I get call outs on the show and my radio host would be like, oh, I'm not coming, I can't come, blah, 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 blah. So I would come in, Cruz would look at me and go, where's your crew? And I'd be like, I don't know. Like they can't make it. So I got a DJ and I got to host the show and this, that. And Cruz is like, yo, you're a one-man army. Like, yo, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. When I have no photographer, I had to learn photography. Yeah. When you know, who's going to do my video work? I had to learn videography. I mean, but it didn't happen all over in one fell swoop. It happened over a period of time. Yeah. So when you brainstormed, when you said, you know what's funny about her? She said to me, it was just one day. She just came to me. She said, can I ask you a question? I was like, yeah. She said, how do you feel about me starting my own show? I was like, are you ready for that? Like, you haven't been here that long. I always wanted to do it, and I think I got the urge right now. Like being on your show just makes me feel a certain type of way. I was like, really?
But you know the funny thing about Evan? He was in radio also, and you had a similar situation, right, Evan?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
Cruz, you can put up a picture of Evan if you have it.
I started out on someone else's show, and at the same time, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, but at the same time, I was going to school for broadcasting. I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and I got hired by the station that I was working with anyway. And I don't know, the first time that I did that, it was a little easier than doing video because I was doing YouTube videos at the time. So being on the microphone and nobody could see me, it was a lot easier for me than just doing a video. So I was a little more comfortable with that time.
Were you still wearing your shades?
Say that again?
Were you still wearing your shades because you didn't like to be in front of the camera?
Yes, I was. For a long time. I think I just stopped wearing my shades.
Almost more quality. What was that?
Oh, he was just talking about his experience on radio. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Evan.
Oh, no. She was asking about, I was so nervous of, being in front of the camera that I would put, like, shades on, and people thought I was just trying to be cool or arrogant or whatever. But I was just really frightened of being in front of the camera. That was it.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Push 28, that's his radio show or something? What was it, Push 28?
Oh, no, Push 28's a production company that I work with from time to time. Anything involving me is Evan the Show.
Oh, okay. When's the show come on? Like, when's it come on?
Sean like meeting people like you. So
no, because you know what? You may want me to come out there and interview, man.
Really?
Yeah, I may want to interview him. Like, it's just like this is how it goes, man. She don't know she's gonna interview on my show too. Like,
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give him an update. A Nina Monique show update. You know what I'm saying? What's she doing now?
Word. You gotta update him, Monique.
Yeah, man. You starting to you a brand already? Are you serious?
I'm trying to be like Evan. That's how I'm trying to be like.
No,
Cruz, you can put the picture up of his microphone again. Let me show you what he have going on.
Yeah,
I got your pictures up, Evan. This right here.
Okay.
Oh, that's
picture. Hold up now.
He got the little mic thingy with the. Is that cartoon drawing or what? What's that? It looks.
That's like my logo. So
yeah, it looks nice though. Look.
I'm involved with something, or if it's my content, you'll see that little logo at the bottom or somewhere.
Okay. I feel you, brother.
And I seen some of your interviews that you did, and one of them that I laughed at, but it's not funny because it's serious, is the one where you interviewed the Trump supporter.
Oh, that was so uncomfortable. Yes, yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
It was. You gotta laugh at some of this stuff, because if you don't, you just gonna just be angry at everybody.
It almost feels like they were being paid to be there.
Yeah.
Because, and we didn't even, because the guy that shot it, there's so much more footage. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of footage because we spent a long time there. And it just, the way they, what they were arguing, and then, like, the different people that would come up. There was a guy that was Mexican that was saying that he supported the wall being built. It was just a whole lot going on. It just didn't feel like it was real at all. And then on the other side, there were people who were against Trump, and you could tell that they were sincere and they were genuine and they were quiet and they didn't speak unless they were spoken to.
Right.
But the Trump supporters were like rambunctious. They were attacking
like
people,
him.
and it was. That was a wild day.
Yeah,
a wild day.
They're an image of him. When you do interviews like that, do you be uncomfortable because of, some of the things you might hear, like, especially at with people, I don't want to, label them as bad people. But, when it comes to interviewing, for example, Trump supporters, do you be like, anxious, of what someone could say, and you just snap right on the show or something?
Oh, no. So this is what I listen to people so I can get an understanding.
Right.
And not so much just listen to debate or anything like that. And part of journalism is getting all the information possible that you can. And I'm not built that way. Like I can debate, and I'm a great I'm great at it. I hardly lose an argument in real life, but when it comes to that, it's like, okay, I need to hear everything they're saying. Because if you listen to the interview, I just let him do the talking because he's making himself look like a fool.
Right.
And, so it's like, okay, you're hanging yourself. I don't even have to say nothing. Okay, cool. Keep going. Keep going. And I think that works best, especially in our field. We just have to, do a lot more listening and less talking.
Right. Yes, because like you said, when they talk, you'll see what kind of, how they are or whatever. So it's like, that's my motto too. Just let people talk. You'll find out a whole lot about them.
Right.
So
for sure.
You mentioned journalism. What do you think of the current state of journalism now? Because, I went to school for journalism also, and a lot of the things I was taught, now you see it being done. Not to, things not to do, now you see it being done.
Right.
So
right.
What are your thoughts on the current state, of journalism and professionalism?
I think it's evolving. So just like even with like music and different genres, it's evolving, and I think it allows. I do like the aspect of journalists being able to inject an opinion and not just report. We do have that as well. I'm just not necessarily that person, but I like it for the most part. I do think there's a lot of lying going on, but that's always been going on.
Right.
And I think we kind of give people what they want instead of reporting actually what's needed or what's the truth.
Right.
So it's more like a popularity contest now than it is actual journalism.
Yes, definitely. And I think also that's why I'm in the process of thinking about somehow going back to the first thing I always wanted to do, which was start a magazine, because I wanted a magazine to be, like a platform for kids, for them to talk to each other and to get an understanding of what goes on in their life, because they talk to each other, but it's like you have in some cases the blind leading the blind.
Yes.
And I definitely will want, someone there who's experienced, for example, with depression, that could give advice about that, and have, kids talk about some of the experiences that they had to go through with depression, and being able to offer advice and have, that professional there to, read and edit, whatever
Yes.
belongs and what don't belong. So I definitely, want to get back into that, and just being able to deliver news,
Yes. Okay.
for like,
And you know what?
Mhm.
I don't knock these outlets that much. What we have to do is we got to look at their methods,
right.
and maybe use some of those and try to put the medicine in the candy. I think that's the correct phrase.
Yes.
And we can deliver a message a certain way and still be current
Right.
at the same time. So yeah.
I totally agree. And I know, with having, your news rant and everything, I know you get to say also that freedom. You have that freedom to say what you want to say and cover what you want to cover,
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I saw one video where you, it was a while ago, where it was the situation with Game and somebody else, and I was looking at the comments of where you did the video towards him or something.
Oh.
I looked in your comments, and I was like, he didn't respond, Game didn't respond, because everybody know Game don't play. He is the clapback king. So
it's funny because and people actually tagged him and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't respond. I don't know. He might be the clapback king, but I don't know if he's ready. I don't know.
that one was funny. I was dying off of that one. I was
That's
like,
a
he didn't
throwback.
respond.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a while ago.
Yes, I was going back with a lot of stuff because I was pulling pictures. I was like,
Okay.
I want to get pictures that capture Evan, from smiling to, interviewing people, to showing your
Right.
brand, to you working
Okay.
with Kyrie. So I wanted to surprise you when you got here, because I was gonna have all the pictures and everything. So
That's hilarious.
So speaking of Kyrie, as your career started to progress, at what point did you say, I need to find a manager, and what were your qualifications and what what of who you wanted to manage your career or help manage your career?
Okay, so I get asked this question quite a bit, so that like people ask, hey, am I ready for a manager and different things of that nature. So it has to be when you absolutely can't manage everything yourself, like to the point where you're so busy that you need assistance, and you aren't necessarily going to look for a manager and find one. It's more so that you're working so hard that they look for you and find you.
Oh.
Yeah. So, right, it's best to keep working and focus on that part, because you could get really lost in the sauce if you just, and you could take away from your craft. You out here looking for a manager, and that's your main focus.
Right.
You should just be kind of, working on your craft, and they will find you. And it's matter of fact, there's a little meme going around and say, work so hard and let the industry find you, or something.
Right.
That nature. But yeah, let them come to you. Let them come to you for real.
Oh.
It's always good to have help.
Right.
It's always good to have, if you look at people like Kevin Hart, he's got friends managing him.
Right.
A lot of people in the industry, they have friends managing them.
Right.
And that's a route you can go, but you just got to make sure that you're careful, because
Right. Yes.
there could be a falling out, and but I mean, I wouldn't even, unless you're making multi-million-dollar deals and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really don't need to really be actively looking until you get to a point where it's like just way too much for you to bear.
Right. Oh, so that's the secret.
Yeah.
Okay. I met Kyrie. He's in the picture that I posted up on Instagram.
Right.
Good
Yep.
dude.
Yeah, my
He's
God.
good. He
Yep.
seemed like he seemed like he's shy too.
Well, you know what? I would he's not shy. He's really, you're right. He gets aggressive when he needs to be, and is appreciated.
Yeah.
And he's just mannerable. We'll say that.
Yes.
Mannerable.
Yes. I noticed that, and when my mom met you in Jersey City
Yes.
for the panel, when we got in the car, she was like, I really like those guys. She was like, they was just so polite.
Wow, that's a good thing to hear. I love to hear that. We get that quite a bit, actually, and that's a good thing. And that's just who we are. We're not pretending to anything. We just being us.
Right, yes.
And that's why me and him connect and click so well. So
right, yes. And, you know, for the both of you, I think both of you are great individuals. I love speaking to you, especially when we was on the panel together and after. And,
right.
you know, I still hit up Kyrie every once in a while when I have a question about something. So, you know, I appreciate, you know, the both of you, because good people are hard to come across, especially
thank you.
in the industry, because I think a lot of people become so tainted by, you know, the influences, you know,
Yes.
that surround them. So I appreciate the two of you just remaining down to earth, as I put in my Instagram post.
Yes,
just two cool, down to earth individual gentlemen, and it was just a pleasure meeting both of you. Now I have to let you go because you have to run in the 4:00 hour, right?
I sure do. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let you hang up now so you can have a little bit of time to do what you gotta do to get ready.
Thank you so much, and thank you for this interview. Thank you for putting me on your platform.
No,
and
thank you.
we will connect soon and collaborate on something soon.
Yes, and you're gonna come to the show, you and Kyrie.
Absolutely.
All right. Don't make me have to come look for both of you, okay?
You don't need, I'm only a text message away.
When I lost my phone, you was the first one I thought of. I said, no, not Evan. Because I was planning this show for July, and I was like, no, not Evan. I have to get that number back. So so you was like one of the first ones I thought of. You and another guy named Castell Barnes, who was here.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm definitely going to keep in touch. I'm going to reach out to you again to come to the studio and hang out. And I wish you nothing but the best with everything that you're doing. And, you know, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
No problem. I appreciate you, too.
All right.
All right. Have a good
take
one.
care.
You too. Bye.
I'm back.
So that was my interview with Mr. Evan the Show Spaulding, and very good friend of mine. Make sure you follow him on Instagram at Evan the Show. And I definitely gonna keep in contact with him for him to come in the studio, and it's gonna be even more live. So I'm gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back with the next half of the show. Be back soon. Bye.
You're logged in to In the Mix Radio. In the Mix Radio.
That's my favorite, like, joint right there. That's like the drop that I use, man. It's like, no, mine's is like, what the oop? You know, like, yeah, I like that joint.
So welcome back, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I had Evan Spaulding on the show. Thank you for calling in, Evan. And we're gonna link up and gonna have him come here to the studio. And we also gonna do some collabs. So I look forward to that. So we're here for the 4 o'clock hour, and to celebrate more achievements and accomplishments of men of color, I'm gonna branch off into entertainment again, almost like the last show. And I have Sean here to help me because he's very knowledgeable of the entertainment business and the people in it. So I definitely wanted to share this with him. So I have my favorite rappers, and I'm a 90s baby. I love hip hop. But I love 90s hip hop, and I love some current stuff that's out, like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. Those are two of my favorites because I love storytelling. Cool. But before the Kendricks and the J. Coles, there was people like LL Cool J. There was people like Rakim. There was people like Heavy D. So I pulled together some pictures, Sean, of some entertainers, and I want us to just talk about their accomplishments and achievements in the industry and how they grew and evolved in the industry.
Okay.
And, just have a nice hip hop conversation. Is that good?
Yeah, man, that's good. Well, if I said no, you had that look like, what you gonna say? Like, I was like, yeah, that's good. Nah.
And before we start, I also want to say, to you and Cruz, I'm very happy to know both of you, and I really respect everything that both of you do, and I'm thankful that I know both of you. So on that note, Cruz, can we start with the pictures?
Oh,
I know.
Yeah,
right?
Cruz, right?
Sweet?
I felt kind
so
of that went to the stomach and the heart, man.
I'm
like,
sweet.
oh,
I know. I can't help myself sometimes, but I had to say it. So here's the first one. Run DMC.
Booyaka!
From Queens. Rest in peace, Jam Master Jay.
Exactly.
So they have such an impression on hip hop.
Yes.
Whenever you hear someone mention, the top 5 MCs, the first group normally is Run DMC.
Exactly.
Yes. So what's your info on Run DMC or your thoughts?
Well, basically, you got to understand, this was the first rap group to actually cross over into hard rock.
Yes.
And back in the day, hip hop was just like, actually, this is the first rap group that actually crossed over into hard rock, and the first hip hop group to actually get endorsed by a major company, which was Adidas. Adidas endorsed Run DMC because when they made the song Adidas, Adidas heard about it.
Right.
And they were, because of, our race of people.
Right.
We go out and we support a lot of the hip hop artists. We buy everything they have.
Yes.
We buy merchandise. Oh, everybody wants to look like Run DMC or whatever. So what happens is, in this particular era, everybody was like into Adidas. When they heard my Adidas, people went to the stores.
I remember that. Yes.
They went to the stores and they started buying Adidas. I bought Adidas, shell toe. Everybody wanted shell toe. They didn't want no other Adidas. I don't care whatever else was on the store in the shelf. I wanted shell top Adidas.
Yes, I remember those days.
So Adidas contacted Run and Run DMC and endorsed them. So they started getting like Adidas jerseys, Adidas sneakers. If you see Run DMC, I don't know if you can. Shout out to his producer who just joined me on Facebook. No later than maybe 4 days ago. Oh my God, Davey DMX is Run DMC's producer.
Okay.
Just joined me a couple days ago on Facebook. Shout out to him. Salute to him. Salute to the whole group. My thing is, there's a personal picture of on his page of I think it was either Jam Master Jay or just one of them, and Adidas had made some personal sneakers stitched with Adidas with the Adidas, but it says in the back of the sneaker on the back part of it, it says JMJ or Jam Master J, or it says Run DMC or Run. Like if they were Run sneakers, it said Run.
Oh, nice.
MC Run on the sneaker. So I didn't know that, and I was sitting there like, wow, they had personalized sneakers, and they had personalized jerseys.
Yes.
I mean, when it came to Adidas, they had fresh pair of everything from Adidas, everything.
Right. Yep.
So this was a company, and this was a brand. Run DMC was a brand, and they went further than everybody thought a hip hop group could ever go. But the thing is that they made it easy for hip hop artists to come behind them and start bridging gaps and going into rock or going into different avenues of music.
Yep.
Before that was never heard of.
I love Walk This Way. I still listen to
Walk
that.
This way. Just give me a kiss.
Yes, I miss that.
Yeah, man.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, they really, really, and that's when the days when hip hop was fun.
That's exactly why I picked them.
To be a hip hop group back in the day, you see, it was about the gold chain because the gold chain represented it represented wealth. It represented establishment. The hats represented status, style. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of mixed it up where you recognize them when they had the hats on because they were gentlemen. See, they didn't want to get into the hardcore hip hop with hoodies. None of that was out back then. So they kind of made it a little different. So when people seen them, they could respect them for what they. But people didn't know that they all had families. They all had kids. Everybody was a family person after they went home and took off the Run DMC cap. So they were really influential to bring hip hop to a whole nother stage. Where hip hop artists could now be endorsed by companies. Once that happened, it was like, hey, wait a minute, I can get endorsed by Nike. I can get endorsed. So people started looking at that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just the run-of-the-mill hip hop artists that just did shows and they put out albums and stuff like that, and that's the only thing they could do. So, shout out to Run DMC and the whole family.
I miss those days, man. It was just fun looking at them on Video Music Box with Ralph McDaniels.
Shout out to Uncle Ralph.
Yeah.
I have the since I got 10 crates of records, I have every record that Run DMC has done in my crates. I can go literally through one crate and pull out everything and play it right here.
They have nothing but hits.
Yeah,
nothing
exactly.
but hits. And weren't they the first artists on Def Jam?
Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Which is I forgot. Russell.
Russell Simmons. Yeah.
Russell Simmons.
They were actually the let me see. If I'm not mistaken, they were the first hip hop artists to be actually in a movie. If I'm not mistaken. Cruz, is that right? I think because when Fresh came out, Fresh was the first. Fresh was the first, like really, really first hip hop movie, if I'm not mistaken. And Davey DMX, which is their producer, he made that beat. Why is it fresh? Why is it fresh?
Yeah.
So he came out with that. That was popping, and that's when they came out with the movie Wild Style.
I remember that one too.
Yeah, Wild Style and Fresh. So it was really, really the first time anybody had seen hip hop artists like acting in movies. So it was a really, really crazy era because here's hip hop artists on screen.
Yep.
So here's a whole nother bracket of money. Acting and residuals. Everything is residuals.
Yes.
So they had a lot of stuff going on.
They did, and that's why I wanted them in this collection because they accomplished a lot and they achieved a lot during their time, and they still do. Reverend Run runs when he had Run's house.
Yeah.
And he passed, Run DMC, passed that legacy on to their kids,
Right.
especially Reverend Run. With Run's house and his daughters and his sons. So that's what it's about too. I think we talked about that on the last show. Creating a lifestyle for yourself.
Yeah,
and
legacy
being able
for the
to
kids.
pass it on.
Yeah.
Because Angela and Vanessa and Diggy, Russ, and JoJo, they all, are doing some amazing things. And, I applaud Run DMC and, everything that they're doing. They were basically artists that were thinking way ahead of the box and ahead of the game. And, God forbid if Jam Master Jay could be here today. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they had a lot to do. Hey, Cruz, did they have a lot to do with the now DJ Academy? I think they had something to do with the DJ Academy, where you can go and learn how to DJ.
Really?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. I think they had something to do with that. I know that Grand Mixer DXT had stuff to do with the new mixers and the new Serato and stuff. Because Serato came to DXT, and they gave him the Serato to test out. I mean, he said that to me a couple years ago when he was here interviewing with me. He said, Serato called him up and said, look, man, we coming out with this new mixer that blah, 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 and we want you to test it. So he tested it, and they approved it, and it came out on the market.
Nice.
A lot of hip-hop artists, man, are getting, called by certain companies and stuff to test out stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
So you got to look, man. Just because you don't see him here, performing,
right.
They're performing elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, I definitely
in other
agree with
countries,
that.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
People
Definitely.
request them,
I agree. Cruz, can we go to the next slide? Big shout out to Run DMC. Thank you for
Yes,
your contributions to hip hop and to the world.
Run DMC wasn't the first record on
It wasn't? Who was it?
Tina Rock.
Tila Rock, yo.
Ah, okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay.
Def Jam Records used to be a rock and roll label.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Rick Rubin had it before it became Def Jam, right?
Ooh, you know your stuff. Man. Shit. You young. You weren't even born then. What the hell, son?
It looks like LL put out a record before Run DMC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, LL, right? Cool J?
The next picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
LL
yeah.
Cool J is
Yes.
on
Battle anybody down on kid if you tell.
I don't know who he battling in his photo, though. What's up with all
That's
that?
him, LL. That's
Yeah.
not me. So I chose LL too because I, enjoy watching him evolve into who he is now, going from hip hop to movies to TV shows to hosting the show. What was that, lip sync battle?
Yeah, the lip sync battle.
Yeah, and I follow his wife on Instagram, and he's a grandfather now. So all his kids are grown, and it's just been a pleasure to watch him evolve into who he is now.
Yeah, L was another artist where coming from Queensbridge, he basically Hollis, yeah. I forgot him, he's from Hollis, Nas is from Hollis.
No, he's from Queensbridge.
Queensbridge, and Run DMC was from Hollis too, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So but the thing is he basically when he came out, he was very young.
Yeah, like 16.
He was 17, I think 16, 17.
Yep.
And he was another artist that got picked up by Def Jam. And he was definitely he was just like a solo artist, but he was just coming so hard with it.
Yeah.
Like people didn't know, they were trying to categorize him.
Right.
Back in the day, you try to categorize a hip hop artist, and they couldn't categorize L because L had his styles was different.
Yes, it was.
When he did the song "Mama Say Knock You Out,"
Oh my God.
people was
That's a
like,
hit.
people was
Still.
like they didn't know
Yes.
what the song was about,
Yes.
but the hood knew that L was battling
Yes.
people, and he
Yes.
did that specific song. I think that was for who was that for?
That was
Mama Said Knock You. It was for somebody who wrote another song, and L did that
Oh.
song as a rebuttal. and it was crazy. That's when it was a lot of Bronx, Queens, Bridge, and and Brooklyn, and when somebody did a song called Brooklyn in the House.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And then KRS did South Bronx, the South Bronx. Then Queensbridge did Queensbridge, kill that noise. Yeah. That was Shan. So it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff going on with repping whose hood. Like it was like, who hood you from? I went from Queensbridge.
That's what I miss about those fun battles. It
wasn't.
Crazy.
Yeah, it didn't get ridiculous.
Because he also had a battle with, who was it? Kumo D, was it?
Yeah, he had a battle with Kumo D. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when just I can't even
And Kumo D was from the old era.
Yes.
L was considered the new era. He was the new kid on the block. And he went after Mo D. And then Mo D came back after him. Yeah. So it was a little crazy.
But those fun battles.
But you know what? It wasn't serious.
Yes, it was.
Nobody got shot. Nobody got killed.
It was all for fun.
They got together. And they were sitting down and they were relating to each other about how many sales who got. How many sales you got off your record and how many sales I got off mine. Yeah. So that's what it was about. It wasn't about the actual battle. You know what I'm saying? And back in the day, if you want to go back to battles, you got to go back to the Cold Crush Brothers. Because see, now you're talking about hip hop where it was my man, the father of hip hop, I forgot his name. Lord have mercy, he's gonna kill me. He was over at Cortona Park, and the Cold Crush Brothers was there. Furious, not Furious 4. There was other groups that weren't even out that were battling and trying to get to the next level. And that's why like hip hop, if you see it as some hip hop crews or hip hop artists that they recognize,
right?
Like Cold Crush should have been on the records.
Yes.
And somewhere along the line,
good too.
Yeah, somewhere along the line, something happened, and they didn't get. I wish I could interview one of them, because I know one of the brothers, Cold Crush Brothers, but my thing, L was this type of artist where he was young. People didn't expect too much to L. Young artists in the industry were always the ones that came out with one song and were called one hitter quitters.
Yes.
Like one song come out.
A lot now.
Yeah, like if you look at like L, let's look at K Solo. Yeah. K Solo. Yes. How do you know all these people? You young. You're not supposed to know all this. What you been doing? Research or something?
K Solo.
So,
oh man.
K Solo came out with the song Spellbound, which he stole. Everybody know this in the industry. He stole his style from DMX. And at that point in time, DMX was out, but DMX got locked up. So nobody knew about this style. And K Solo came out, was hitting, everybody was boom, boom, boom. And when DMX came out, maybe a couple years later, you didn't hear about K Solo.
Yeah, DMX, he came out swinging when he came out.
Yeah, but L did movie, he did acting, he did sitcom, he did reality, not a reality show, but he did TV shows.
Yes,
he had a TV show. He had what is it in the LA show where he was a cop.
I forgot. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes,
he did a lot for hip hop artists.
Yes,
that was so
opened a lot of doors.
He was so hood. L was hood, but L was smart.
Yes,
I mean, whoever his producer or his manager was, the only thing I think that they left out was clothing line, was merchandising, marketing.
Do you think he needed that?
I don't think he needed it, but just for L to have his own brand, and stuff. But L actually went into acting. He went into movies. He went into
the money.
So the money,
money followed him.
The money became residual, just like Will Smith.
Yeah. Yes.
He did the same thing. Yeah. So salute to L, man.
Yes.
One of the hardest in the game, yo.
Yes. Big shout out to LL. Booming system.
Yeah. Cars ride by.
Yes.
You couldn't even
singing that
You couldn't
song.
even play that back in the day. The cops would give you a ticket.
That was the jam. My mother loved that song.
People used to get that song and put it in the car and have the system booming
Yeah.
and be like, boom, boom,
Yes,
boom, boom.
I remember hearing it when people
Cars
were riding
rock,
past my
bar.
house.
Cars rock, bar. I was
Yup.
like, and the cops, woo, they pull you over.
Everybody
Yeah, a
loved that
noise
one.
ordinance. Yeah, here's your ticket. See you in court. Yeah,
Yes,
whatever.
that was
Yeah.
that was the jam.
Yeah.
All right, big shout out to LL Cool J and salute
LL.
to everything you doing and you,
Cool
you know
J is
everything
hard
you done.
Eh.
And I wish you nothing but the best.
I don't care if you.
Next picture, Cruise.
They are. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Yes.
Let me tell you about the God.
Yes.
Let me
Eric
tell
B
you.
and Rakim.
What? Let me tell you about the God here.
Mm-hmm.
Peace to the God, man. Rakim.
Yes. I still listen to their albums like they just came out.
Here you have a group who went knowledge. They
Yes.
This was an inspirational group. This was a group that took gold. They took like Louis Vuitton.
Mm-hmm.
They wore it, they repped it. He was from the hood, but he was a conscious
Yes.
hip hop artist.
Yes.
And what people can't take from Rakim was that Rakim, a lot of times they said Rakim would make stuff up as he go along, and he wouldn't write nothing down. He just would remember all of it in his head.
So is that
And-
where Jay-Z got it from?
I don't even know.
Jay-Z don't write his lyrics
Yeah,
either.
DMX don't do it either. Yeah, D
Don't-
don't do it. Yeah, but the thing is, this guy here, Rakim, was so into black culture that anytime he rapped, he was a god in the 5% Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not Nation of Islam, 5% Nation of the gods and earths, and you see this dude down there in Harlem in front of Mecca building in a cipher. And, you know, my thing was, he was the type of dude that you could build with.
Yeah.
You know, he was a hip hop artist, so he wasn't so standoffish. But, you know, he wasn't the type of dude that was fake.
He seemed real down to earth.
Yeah, he's not
Very.
fake. Like, if he talk, he's talking from a conscious level. You can't come at this cat right here and say, you don't know yourself. The minute you say that, it's a war. Because he will break it down, who he is, where he came from, where his sister. Yeah, I'm just saying that the God is true and living, and this brother right here was a part of the conscious. I say the part of the conscious rap era.
Yes. That's what.
Because there was a conscious rap era.
That's what I miss about hip hop. That
The consciousness?
and the content and
Right.
because
It's a message.
nowadays it's all about the beat, and I'm like, for me, I'm more of I want to know what you're talking about, and then I worry about the beat. Because I want to know, where you stand, mentally. Because I love stories. I
Well-
love stories.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Stories and being informative.
Yeah, Rakim was the type of artist that he would what was the chant? Not Paid in Full. That was based on the
Ain't No
movie. No, they were in a movie called Paid in Full.
Mm-hmm.
So that particular record was attached to the
Right.
movie. So when the movie came out, they was playing that in the background. I'm paid in full,
Right.
And my thing was there was such consciousness with this brother
Yes.
doing what he did that, like in the hip hop community of today, he is considered a hip hop icon and
He
and
is.
an entrepreneur and a philosopher.
Yes.
Because this dude was doing
Respect.
conscious rap where people wasn't even thinking about it, and in his era, you had Rakim, you had X Clan,
Yeah.
you had the Poor Righteous Teachers.
I remember them. Yes. Yeah.
Who else did we have? Poor Righteous Teachers, X Clan. There was a couple. There was a couple more. Then you had what's her name? The sister, I forgot her name. Sister Soldier.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sister Soldier was doing her stuff. Then you had Public Enemy, and
Cruz,
then you
can
had
go to another picture because
this is all conscious rap era.
Yeah.
And
I think.
huh?
Okay, so he's next, and then it's I think Public Enemy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we could do it. So here you have
Grandmaster
the person in his likeness.
Yes.
He was considered to me. I'm not gonna say to all hip hop, but to me, he was considered the first person to actually scratch back and forth real fast and stuff like that. He didn't create the scratch. The scratch creator was Grand Mixer DXT. He was the first person to put scratch on actual platform and get it played by Herbie Hancock.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
But this particular icon, Grandmaster Flash, was fast. I mean, when people Flash 2 times, he would do stuff, turn around, do the back of the hand, flip the record. Flash would DJ with needle. He would pull a needle back. He would stand there and just pull a needle back, and do this all day. And people was like, "Yo, how the fuck is he doing that?" So Flash was the type. Everybody wanted. That's what DJ
was fun.
This is when DJing became talented.
Yes.
Because before this, DJ was just scratch, scratch, and then you crossfade. Crossfade, it was still up and down. When Flash was out, there was a crossfader. So it wasn't no more up and down stuff. It was like whoop, whoop, wham. And the thing is that Flash was so fast, he made other DJs go home. This is when the DJ competitions. No, I'm being honest.
That's when you know.
Shout out to Grandmaster Flash, one of the icons in the business.
Definitely.
He made DJs go home and practice because everybody wanted to be faster than Flash.
No, you can't do that. He was the originator.
You had Grandmaster Flash. You had who else? DJ Lance, Lightning Lance.
I remember him.
You had Scratchmaster Jazzy G. You had there's so many DJs, yo. Oh my God. Yo, let me tell you something. If they had a DJ award show.
They still have those, don't they?
No. I'm talking about BET. Do you know they have the Icon Award? They have the the legends and all that. I've never seen a DJ award show like representing all the DJs. Like there's so many DJs.
That's why I think they probably don't have it. It's too many to name.
Yes. And Flash was the one that put it out there on such a large spectrum.
Yeah.
Flash was getting endorsed. He was getting endorsed by companies. People were sending Flash, like the needles. Technique was sending Flash needles. Like, test the needles out before we got new needles coming out. We got new techniques coming out. They would send him the shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, people looked at Flash and said, "Oh, well, he's just a DJ." No. Flash was a DJ, but he was a DJ that turned DJing into an art.
Yep.
It became an art. When Flash got on the tables, it was just like the crowd was just standing there waiting for something to happen. It wasn't just, we're gonna scratch a little bit. No, Flash would get on there and he'll DJ with his elbows. Wham, 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 wham. He'll turn around.
Do that anymore?
Huh? Give her show back? I'm sorry.
No, because I'm getting a history lesson.
No, yeah, well, I'm trying, but there's some DJs that still do that, but they do it like at sometimes they do Cortona Park and they'll be performing and they'll go out there and do this stuff. They still can do it.
But I don't hear a lot of this. A lot of the DJing.
Yeah, it happens all summer. Cortona Park in the Bronx. They just had what's that group? There was a group there. I haven't heard from in a long time. They were there performing every summer in the Bronx, Cortona Park. They go there and they perform. It'd be Flash. It'd be all the artists.
I have to look that up because I would want to go into that. Like I keep talking about it when I went to the the 30th.
They got
anniversary.
There's 2 more I think before August is out.
MTV Raps and they had.
You went to that?
Up there? Yes.
I could have gotten in the backstage. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I knew somebody, but after that, I was like, okay.
That was a fun concert because
they had everybody there.
Back there. Yeah, especially when Eric B and Rakim came out.
Yeah.
Who's the next picture cruise? Big shout out to Grandmaster.
Shout out to Grandmaster Flash, man.
And
And he's still touring overseas,
Yeah.
He's still packing out stadiums and touring. Flash
I'm
is still
sure.
on the scene.
Legends,
Yeah,
pioneers,
still doing it. Still
Yeah.
doing it.
heavy.
Oh, yeah, Ross. True, big up to my man Hev.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
We both said it.
Yes.
He definitely, was iconic. And
Yeah.
when he came out dancing, I was little and I used to try and do the
Started to
dances
do the
he
heavy
would
D
do.
dance.
Yes, I loved it. I miss those days.
Hev, shout out to Hev, Mount Vernon, stand up. Hev was a friend of mine. I was doing hip hop back in the day. Shout out to Eddie F, Trouble T Roy, rest in peace. Shout out to G Wiz. I was doing hip hop back in the day. This was my era, and we all were talking about trying to make it big and this and that. And what's funny is shout out to DJ Eddie F. I was DJ Eddie F's MC. It was me and a dude named Bushrod and another dude. Other dude went down south. So it was us two and Eddie. And I remember Eddie talking to us about, there's a big project coming up, you got to be ready for this because we got to perform in front of these cats and this. And I signed up to go into the military. And my man, other cat, things happened to him where, he was incarcerated. For a period of time. So Eddie had no MCs. So we knew Hev knew us. Eddie got with Hev. And then Hev, I don't know how they brought on G-Wiz and Trouble T. Roy, but Trouble T. Roy remember me from dancing. So a lot of times I used to dance and stuff and do electric boogie, and Trouble T. Roy look at me, he's like, yo, Sean, how you do this? How you do this? Like, yo, you do this, that, boom, boom. We was practicing stuff.
That's when dancing was fun too.
Yeah. But Trouble T. Roy was like doing his own thing, dancing and everything. And they got with Eddie. And the next thing you know, I came out the military. I go to Eddie's house. He's like, yo, I'm in town. Like, let's link up. I'm riding around. That's when Eddie had his white BMW. And this is when the first joint came out called Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are?
Yep.
And I was riding around with Eddie. He's like, yo, man, we got this coming up, that's coming up. It was just happening. And I was like, damn, Eddie. He was like, back then Eddie was like, he was real cool, real humble. He's always been a humble dude. And, I practically grew up in his house. I know his brother. I knew his mom. We got yelled at doing parties. Huh?
Heavy?
No, Eddie F.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got yelled at by his mom doing parties and bringing equipment in at night and like DJing like sometimes late at night his mom would come downstairs, shut it off, Eddie, shut it off. So a lot of my hip hop stuff was done with Eddie F. And when Heaven came out, I remember coming home from the military and Hev was driving some type of blue hatchback. And Hev pulled me, see me on the ass, yo, Sean, get in the car. I was like, all right, I got in the car. He said, yo, he threw the tape on, his cassette tape. Threw the tape on. He said, yo, what do you think about this? It was like, oh, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Who do you think you are? Big stuff. So I was like, yo, what? I said, that's you? He's like, yeah, we did it in the basement. I said, get the fuck out. He was like, yo, we did it in the basement. He said, yo, we gonna be on Uptown. He was telling me everything in the car. I was like, yo, when did this shit happen? Yo, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yo, man, we gotta keep you up. Yo, you gotta talk to Ed. Yo, and I rode around with him, and I got out the car, and I went back in the military, and blah blah blah. And
you ever went on tour with him?
No, I never went on tour. They blew up overnight. It was like they got a shout out to Andre Harrell. And
Andre
the whole
Harrell.
Uptown label.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then Albie Shore came out with his stuff. And Al took me to the high school in his black Maxima. And we stopped. And I tried to figure out why the girls were going nuts.
And it was Albie Shore?
It was Al. I said, yo, Al, what the fuck is going on? He was like, yo. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So he was like, yo. I said, yo, what's going on? And I was like, yo. He said, I made a record. I was like, really? He's like,
Is
yeah.
he from New York?
No, he's from Mount Vernon.
Albie Shore?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I know his kids. His kids. I know his baby mom. And, yeah. Little B. Shore's from Mount Vernon. I interviewed him at the Arts on 3rd of 2016.
Oh.
Yeah, he was there. But he did what Hev did was he took hip hop
to a whole new level
where
dancing is now
included in hip hop. And for him to be a heavy brother.
Yeah.
Because remember we had the Fat Boys.
Oh yeah.
Remember the Fat Boys? The Fat Boys was the only hip hop group that was really, really heavy brothers
Are
that
they
made
still
it.
around?
I think one of the artists is still around. I don't know. I'm not too sure
I
about.
know one passed, right?
Yeah, I don't know which one. I don't know which one, but
Okay.
I'm not too sure about.
One died.
Who is that? Marky D?
The big fat one.
Cruz.
Not Marky D.
Huh?
No.
Yeah,
But
the big fat one. Remember, there was 3 of them.
yeah, it's three of them. Yeah,
Right, the big fat one.
yeah.
Coffee.
Okay. So
She said, it was the big one.
Okay.
yeah. So
Still, we
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
address them like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So
They address themselves as the fat boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you
So-
don't have to say the big fat one.
so yeah. So basically when Hev came out, he made it being heavy a fun thing.
Yeah.
And
He
regardless
broke
of
barriers
yeah,
for
reg-
that,
yeah, regardless.
making people feel acceptable. You know, regardless of what you look like, you could do, you could dance, you
Yeah.
could do whatever,
Yeah.
and still have the same opportunity as anyone else. So
Yeah.
you know, he definitely
They used to get on this. They used to be
made
on the
an
stage.
impression and made something in hip hop.
Yeah,
So-
they used to get on the stage, and when he started dancing, you would hear the girls going, "Go heavy,
Oh,
go
yeah.
heavy,"
Yeah.
and you know he was a heavy dude dancing, and that's what people knew him for. They was like, "Oh shit, he's dancing like he's his own show," but his dances was popping it
Yeah.
off, and
He was dope.
yeah, he really did big things for 914 because at that point in time, 914 wasn't really represented by any other artist.
Yeah.
You had nobody from 914 out but Hev. You had Pete Rock. You had
CL Smooth.
yeah,
Oh
Pete
my
Rock, CL
God.
Smooth. You had Hev. You had
Yes.
Albie Shore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you
Yeah.
had Jeff Red. But see,
Yeah.
people didn't know Jeff Red was from Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of people coming out of Mount Vernon. And then Yonkers came out with Mary
Yeah.
J. Came out with DMX,
Oh, yeah. Locks.
the Locks,
Yeah.
and you know,
I remember that.
and Jada Kiss and all that. So
Big shout out
it just
to Hev.
and he was on Soul Train. That's what if I could take that back, and I could have been on Soul Train to meet Mr. Don, Mr. Don Cornelius.
Been on Soul Train.
Yo, he met Don Cornelius. I never forget it. We were home glued to the TV, and Don Cornelius came out and says,
Heavy.
"So he said so. Hey, how you doing, brother?"
He was fun.
He said so heavy. You know, and he
Heavy
made it
D,
made it
yeah.
cool. Heavy D. Mr. Big Stuff. Everybody was like, yes.
It was fun.
But
I miss Soul Train too.
yes.
Man.
Soul Train was the type of platform where we didn't have MTV.
Yeah.
So Soul Train was the platform.
That was
If
for us.
if the artists made it and they were big and they went to Soul Train, they were big after that.
That was for us. Yeah,
You know,
a
so-
lot of our artists.
Yeah, shout out to Don Cornelius, man.
I'm
Rest in
running
peace.
out of time, and there's one more piece that
Uh-huh.
I wanted to do.
Okay.
Cruz, could you go through the pictures? Cruz, you could slide through the other pictures real quick to show who else I had in here.
Oh!
Wait. Okay, then go to the next one. Keep going, Cruz.
Boogie Down
Big shout out to
Productions
KRS-One.
will always get
Public
paid.
Enemy. Keep going.
PE. Don't believe the hype.
Kendrick,
Oh,
going.
yeah. Kendrick Lamar.
J. Cole.
J. Cole.
People who are, making moves in the industry.
Yeah.
Keep going, Cruz. Master P. And
What?
Yes.
Shout out to the dog right
Master
there.
P. Yup.
Master P.
T.I.
Shout out to T.I., the business conglomerate.
Yes. Keep going. And that's someone that I admire. Sean King, who
Yeah,
stands
okay.
up for what everyone, for
Yeah.
what's right. A lot
Yeah.
of people have a problem with him, but I appreciate the things that he do. And then also
Who's this?
F. Gary Gray, the producer,
Okay.
straight out of Compton.
Oh, really?
Yes, he also did TLC Waterfalls.
Oh, wow.
This is one of my other favorite
Straight
groups.
out of Compton. NWA.
Easy E, Ice Cube, MC
NWA.
Renner, DJ Yella.
Yeah,
this movie
man.
was serious.
That
when
movie-
it came out.
That
And
movie I wouldn't say it put Compton or LA on the map, but it gave us a real big insight of what was going on
Yeah.
in their hood.
Yes.
Because you always seen like New York hoods and Fresh and Wild Style. You know what being from New York was all about.
Yep.
But NWA changed the whole game from just fun and
Yeah.
hip hop and conscious to gangster.
Yes.
And it was gangster with
Yes.
NWA. They didn't care. They wanted to reflect
Loved it.
what their hood was.
Exactly.
So when they put
That's what-
they put that group, that song out called "Fuck."
Oh yeah.
F the police.
Yeah. A
It
lot
wa-
of the songs that they made, you know, during that time, a lot of people had a problem with.
Yes.
But it's so
There were
relevant
statements.
to what's going on now.
They were statements.
Yes,
People, hip hop became a movement. It became conscious
Yes.
where people were really starting to worry about the movement.
Yes.
You know, when they came out, their stuff was in Congress.
Yes.
They were
Yes.
literally
Yep.
having debates where this could be they were trying to
Yep.
take freedom of speech from hip hop. And they
And
started
They can't do that because you put it in. You know, you made freedom of speech. Let us live ours.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
they started that with 2 Live Crew.
Yeah, when they came out with
Pump,
the,
pump,
yeah,
get it,
yeah,
pump, pump.
Yep.
But you know what? They didn't succeed
Mm-hmm.
because the freedom of speech is the freedom of speech.
You know, a lot of the stuff that was put in, you know, in place, especially, you know, during that time, it's like it's backfiring on so many
Yes.
different levels.
Yes.
How you gonna put something in place and tell someone freedom of speech, but then when someone of color do it or someone of color talk about what's going on in their neighborhood, it's a problem, especially because it's conscious. It makes you think. What's the other one they did?
Who?
NWA. They did F the Police, and there was another one they did.
What? Straight Outta Compton?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my joint.
Yes.
Straight Outta Compton, Ice Cube.
It's like, you know,
Easy. They can't
are
fuck
truly
me.
pioneer.
Yeah. Straight Outta Compton, Studio
Was it?
Compton. That was the first song they put out?
What was it?
Come on. You guys just watched this movie?
Yeah, I don't remember everything in it. I don't.
Hold on.
Why he gonna do this? Like, why are you doing this now?
Easy sang the song.
Yeah, Easy E. Oh no, Easy. The song Easy.
No.
No?
The one that he's talking about the car, that he's in the car.
Oh, six. Right
Now down in my 6'4". Yeah.
First song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Theirs or his?
Theirs.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
it
know
is.
the song.
It is.
Yeah.
They made the song. He's
Yeah.
the one who funded them.
Yes.
Yeah. Cause Easy had the
Yes.
the
They didn't have any names
no.
At the time.
Nah.
When it started getting big was a big game. So nigga without it.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you, Cruz.
Yeah. You know what? They kind of did that after. Yo, no. If you look at the movie, they did that. They did that when the cops when they was in the studio and the producer
went
they were outside and the cops
came in.
messed with them.
Yeah.
After that, they
came
was
out.
like,
Yep.
Who made that song was Ice Cube.
well, Ice Cube made a lot of the songs after that.
Already the song.
Yeah, and that's why Cube happened to leave the group because
He wasn't getting paid.
if you watch
for
the
it.
movie, they'll show you that like, Cube was wanted to get paid, and he was getting money and wasn't paying nobody.
Yep.
And the rest of the crew was like, yo, where's the money?
Yep.
You know,
They
and
went through a lot of those groups went through a lot.
Yeah.
You know, during that time.
but they were so talented.
They was.
You know, like
Very.
when you talk about KRS,
Yeah.
KRS took hip hop from conscious to educated.
Yes.
Like KRS is a philosopher. He teaches at colleges. He goes to colleges and speak around the country. People don't know when they have documentaries about Black history. KRS is one of the people that's there doing the
intelligent.
documentary.
Very intelligent.
But he took it to a level where, rest in peace, Scott LaRock, because Scott LaRock was really Scott LaRock got shot at the mid level of KRS's career. It was just banging. It was hard, and after that, people didn't think that KRS was gonna still go on because it was KRS-One, Scott LaRock.
Right.
It was Boogie Down Productions. But he kept pushing, and he got to the point where, when Chris got up and spoke,
Yeah. KRS.
the whole hip hop community. Did you see the last Summer Jam?
No, the last one.
What?
No, who was there?
KRS was there.
I didn't know. I didn't.
KRS was there. He was there.
I saw him too.
He
at
came
the,
out on that stage.
the hip hop.
He was at the MTV. Your
Yes,
MTV.
I saw that, and he killed
He
it.
killed it.
He killed that, and it was like as soon as Rapture
Yeah,
came on.
uh-huh.
When that came on, everybody went crazy,
Uh-huh.
and then when you know, it was just so much energy in there. When he also, the song, what is that? He didn't do it, but what's the song? Black Cop?
Oh, Black Cop.
Yeah.
Black Cop,
Could you
Black
put
Cop,
pictures
Cop.
of, the girl? Because I want to get into that too. Nia Wilson. Because I want to cover them before the show is over. Yes.
That's the only person I haven't interviewed, like really from that era. Like, there's a lot of artists I still want to interview, but you leave it up to me, I'm gonna interview them because I know Davey DMX now. So I'm gonna hit Davey D up. Like, look, man, I need to interview KRS. I need to interview DMC. You know, I need to interview some cats because they need that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I appreciate, you know, the things that, you know, they contributed to hip hop.
Yeah.
I really, really do, because they made me fall in love with hip hop.
Yeah, I got the ruckus,
And
man. I got the ruckus. I'm about to get me some equipment. I'm on to something else this year. 2019, I'm gonna be playing music
Yeah.
with records.
Ah.
I'm shocking the whole world, son. They're gonna be like, "What's with this dude?" And I'm changing my name to DJ Money Make. Money Make.
Ah, okay. All
The
right.
Money Make. They're gonna call me the Money Make.
I see you. Okay. So that was my little, you know, collage of hip hop.
You really
Celebrating.
picked my brain, like, yo, you put me on blast, like, and
Celebrating.
people like, yo, he don't know nothing about hip hop. Let's see what he know. Like you really picked me and stuff.
No. You know, I wanted to share, you know, those pics with
Yeah.
you, because I know you in the industry and I know you a hip hop head also. And
Yo, if you
I'm a
want
hip-hop
to,
head.
you can stay around for the show because I got Gangstar's manager coming.
Oh, nice.
So his name
Okay.
is Solar.
Ah.
He's supposed to come today, and we're gonna talk about Gangstar and what.
I
what
actually have an event to go to, but
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right.
but I would love to.
Yeah, I got
Tell
some-
him I said hello.
Yeah, definitely. They're supposed to be coming here soon, so I'm like, that's
Okay.
why I'm looking at my phone because I know I gave him the address, so I'm like, okay, where's he at? Like, yo,
So I want to switch gears because my shows get ready to come to an end,
okay,
and I wanted to acknowledge some people who unfortunately had to leave, transcend into the spirit world, as
Oh,
you know
really?
they say.
really? Okay.
Some current events happened over the course of the week,
Mhm.
starting with, I believe it was last Sunday.
Mhm.
Her name is Nia Wilson from Oakland, California. I don't know if you heard about it.
No,
Yep.
Nia Wilson.
Yes, she's
Uh,
a 18-year-old girl who was riding a train in Oakland, California with her sister.
Uh huh.
They was getting off the train, and someone stabbed her in the neck, killing her.
Oh, my
and
God.
they did that to her sister, but her sister survived.
Oh wow.
I know the show is celebrating the accomplishments of men of color, but I wanted to pay my respects to this beautiful young woman because she was
Right, right.
18 years old,
Right.
and she had her life ahead of her, and someone decided to end that.
Wow.
And from the story I read is that she was just coming back from an event for her boyfriend who passed away 2 years prior.
Oh wow.
So she unfortunately lost her life, and I wanted to celebrate her life.
Did they catch the guy?
Yes, they did. They caught
Wow.
him, but a lot of people believe it was a hate crime because of everything that's going on.
Right. Right.
They did catch him. He's in court now. I think it was yesterday. The mom.
Is he a white guy or
Yes.
what? Really?
Yes.
There's a lot of that going on with
Yes.
the hate crimes and stuff.
Yes.
A word of advice, people, just watch where you're going.
Exactly. Be careful.
Watch what you're doing. If you see somebody, I hate to say, if you see some Caucasian and he's in the building and he looks like he's like not coherent or whatever, just know that just watch him because he may be a
Watch.
person that's going to act out or something like that. It's hard to say that in such a free society that we belong to, but you don't know. You know what I'm
don't.
saying? You don't know
And-
where the hate's gonna come from.
Exactly, and it's just so much of it going on. Like the
Right.
next story, Cruz, you could put up the next picture of the gentleman. This gentleman,
Whoa.
his name is Frederick Taft. He was 50. He's 57 years old, of Long Beach, California.
Okay.
He was shot and killed in a park during a family reunion Saturday.
Really?
Something else related to hate crime. Because
Wow.
a family member or a relative or a friend came over and said, where is it? That they saw a gentleman walking out of the bathroom with a rifle, and that's where this gentleman was killed, in the bathroom of the restroom of a park. And they saw a white guy come out with a rifle, and it was also said that it was some white men riding around saying racial slurs to the family while they was having their family reunion. So like you said, you got to be careful. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but a lot of these stories may not make it to
He was shot.
Nia made it to mainstream radio. Yes, he was shot. But I didn't hear much about this story. And actually, a lot of this stuff that I'm learning about is from Sean King. So, you know, I don't repost a lot of this stuff on my social media because for me, it's too much.
It's too much hurt.
Exactly. So I said on my platform, I'll acknowledge them. So I wanted to acknowledge this gentleman.
That's nice.
There's also another one who I wanted to acknowledge, but this one is a bit different. Oh, let me see if I could pull him up here. His name is, let me see, Chad. Let me see. Something. I'm trying to find him. Here it is. His name is. Wait, not it to come up. Chad Murrell. He was at a bar with his friend who was black, and they was there, you know, just trying to enjoy the night. And a racist guy came in and started calling his black friend the N-word. So Chad, a white guy, stepped in to protect his friend who was black from this racist, and they was trying to be peaceful, you know, and avoid the situation, but it didn't turn out that way. Chad was shot in the chest, and he died on the spot.
When did this happen?
This was, oh man, where is it?
Man, yo, this is just too much.
It is. It's a lot going on, and again, I wanted to.
It is. It's completely. Just too much to all take in at one time.
It is.
It's a lot of it's a lot of hate in the air, man.
Yep.
You know. And when it's like that, man, you just want to be kind of. I don't know what I say. Careful.
Yeah, cause it's like you can't be like how careful. We have to be careful, but how careful can we be? Because we want to live our life also. So it's just a whole lot. But I wanted to pay give my respects to Chad and his family, and as well as Nia Wilson, and as well as Frederick Taft. And then there was a story that I was trying to send to Cruz. It was a video that that wasn't a good source, but there was someone killed in my city, Patterson, New Jersey.
What?
At I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I don't want to say it wrong. He was a delivery man from a Chinese restaurant in Patterson on Broadway. Very famous Chinese spot. He went to deliver food. It was around 1:00 in the morning, and some people tried to rob him, and they shot him in the chest while his wife was in the car next to him.
Oh.
And his car
So terrible.
hit 7 other cars, because I guess it was like not parked when it happened.
Right.
So I wanted to also send my condolences out to his family for their loss. So again, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but these are people that I feel I have to acknowledge. And to everyone, you know, just like Sean said, be safe out there. You got to be safe. It's a lot going on, and we have to be aware. And we have to start, helping each other. If you go back in history, wasn't that what the Panthers was for? You know, to protect, the people and to protect, to police the police, I should say.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have to start, protecting each other, not hurting each other, but protecting each other. So I'm going to end the show. Sean, is there anything else you would like to say before we go off air?
No, I just want to say that you're doing great. Love what you're doing.
Thank you.
And keep inspiring people. Keep doing what you're doing, because somebody's out there listening.
Thank you.
And that person out there listening may be a major player in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And all it takes is for that one person to call and say, look, Nina, I want to take your show to another level.
Mm-hmm.
And then people will be like, whoa. So keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Proud of you. I wish you was back, though. No, but I'm proud of what you're doing, but, keep doing what you're doing, all right?
Thank you so much. And to Evan, the show Spaulding, thank you once again for calling in. I look forward to you and Kyrie coming to the show. And everyone, enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Salute.
Bye.
InTheMixRadio.com. Set it and forget it.